Hello and welcome to Cook This. Hello and welcome to Cook This. I am your host, Tom Dignan, and today we have the pleasure of joining us, Mickey Sangiacomo. Did I say that right?
You got it right,
From
Tom.
Mickey's in Bellwood. He's going to do some cooking today for us, and we have our celebrity guests, judges, tasters, if you will, Miss Smetana, Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Bonarigo. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having you all hungry. So,
Exciting.
Mickey, let's start off with the first thing we're going to cook today. What are we cooking?
We're going to make some homemade sloppy joe, just like we sell it.
Homemade sloppy joes.
Just like we make it in the store. We keep it simple, but we'll get through it pretty quickly here, I think.
Okay, so it looks like you got ground beef browning. Do you have like a preference for what kind of beef you use?
Well, we use an 80-20 ground beef.
Okay.
Okay, and obviously we do a little bigger batches, so we're gonna start with just 2 pounds of ground beef.
Perfect. And 80-20, so it's 80% meat, 20% fat. You get that nice fat flavor in it.
You
so
got
it's
it.
chuck,
You got
I
it.
assume.
Yes.
And so you're making sloppy joes from scratch. So if we go to Mickey's, we're getting scratch-made sloppy joes, not from a can?
We make it fresh every day.
Fresh every day.
Sure, yeah.
Fantastic.
And we
Judges, sloppy joes. Do you eat sloppy joes at home regularly, Miss Smetana?
I do not. I'm a fan of sloppy joes, but I've never made them myself, so I'm looking forward to it.
Mrs. Johnson, you've got kids. Do they like sloppy joes?
They do. They love to have their father eat those with them. I will eat sloppy joes, but I don't necessarily make them at home.
You've never made them from scratch?
No, sir.
Perfect. And Dan, how about you?
Yeah, we have them, I don't know, maybe once a month or something. And my wife likes to cook, so she makes them from scratch.
I love sloppy joes. Now, is this a secret recipe here? Are there going to be secrets you can share with us? Are there secret ingredients?
Well, Tom, here's my philosophy. There's no secret recipes because depending on who makes it, they're going to change it. They're going to do something a little different. I had an aunt who used to tell a story. You put 12 people in a room, and you tell a story, and you open the door, and you have 12 different stories.
Sure.
I feel the same way about recipes. Even in our own store, I do the majority of our cooking.
Okay.
But we have a couple other people that can do it, and my brother Frank can do it if he really needs to.
Is that Brother Frank here today if he wants to?
He's hiding in the dark over there.
We know you're here, Frank.
But,
we'll get you up here at some point.
But even they just change it, tweak it a little bit from what it should be.
So what are we going to put in your sloppy joes here? I see a couple things laid out.
We're gonna spice it with a little salt and pepper, and we're gonna throw in a little onion, and then we use brown sugar, ketchup, a little sauce that we make ourselves, and we use a smoked barbecue sauce.
Okay, two things. One, is this a red sauce, like a marinara type of sauce?
Yes, correct.
And that's homemade also?
That's homemade also.
Now, do we get that recipe too? I mean, if I can get the Sangiacomo homemade red sauce recipe, that's kind of important,
If
right?
I told you how we made that, you'd say, you're kidding.
Would you have to kill me afterwards?
No, it's it's very simple. Basically, we brown onions with garlic and pepper and salt. We throw in full red tomato puree, and we let it cook and reduce down over a period of about 45 minutes and cool down. And the key to the sauce is our other meat products that we put in the sauce.
Love meat in there. Right. Gotta do it.
That's where the flavor comes from. But basically, it's just, that's it. We're cooking down
standard
tomato.
stuff.
Standard stuff. Keep it simple.
So how close are we on our beef here? What are we going to add first to it?
We're good.
We're going to drain it. We're going to add onions.
Yeah,
We keep it.
We're going to do all of that stuff right now.
So when I eat sloppy joes, I like to eat it with tater tots. It's kind of like a tradition for me. It's like I gotta have tater tots or fries on the side.
Choice.
Sure.
It's a good choice.
So we're going to drain the beef. So we do this so that we get rid of that excess fat.
Correct.
We get the flavor from it, but we're getting rid of the fat.
Correct.
And see, so now that you're seeing how easy this is, judges, is this something that you think you could make at home? I mean, look, we've got like 5, 6 ingredients. Miss Smetana, are you going to tackle this at home now?
I would. I don't know if I would tackle the sauce myself. I'd have to substitute, but absolutely.
Mrs. Johnson, have you ever made homemade red sauce?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I
sir.
have.
Yes, sir. And what do you put in your homemade red sauce?
Much of what Mickey puts in his, but some tomato paste as well.
Okay.
And some, a little sugar.
Sugar.
And a little wine.
I won't tell anybody about the wine that you put in there. We'll just keep that a secret. But I put wine in mine too. Dan, you?
I'm the sous chef in the house, so I just.
You're the chopper.
Yeah, I chop and then I
Cut and
mix
chop.
and put in whatever I'm told.
Great. All right. So salt and pepper went in.
People say things.
Now we're doing our diced onion, minced onion, if you want to call it that. What, like maybe about a quarter cup or so?
Right.
I guess. And then you're just sort of heating that up. You're not even going to really cook that through, so you want to get a little bite from the onion there.
Right.
And do you use, what is this, white onion, Spanish onion? What do you got in
It's
there?
a Spanish onion.
Spanish onion?
Yep.
Any reason why
Same
you like
thing
that
that
one?
looks like,
Same
it's
thing
over there.
Where's your Spanish
Better
onion,
flavor.
if we can see this.
The white's pretty, but it doesn't have the flavor. Now we're going to throw in some brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
I'm learning a lot here.
That's going to give us our little sweetness.
Yep.
Go with that ketchup. We got a lot of sweet ingredients here, so it's gonna, we're gonna balance that out, I guess, with the tomato puree, right? That's
Yep.
where you'll get that sort of sweet, smoky balance we got going on.
You've done this before.
Once,
Okay.
twice, maybe, a couple times. Ketchup in. Do you make your own homemade ketchup?
No.
Okay,
it's-
because that, I mean, now that is maybe a little bit going overboard. Homemade ketchup, right? I mean, so then we get our barbecue sauce in here, which I love barbecue sauce. I'm a big barbecue guy. Mrs. Johnson, I'm sure you're a barbecue person being from the South, right?
Yes, they give it to us upon birth.
You actually
That's
get
what's in
right
the
out.
bottle.
Give her a rib.
Give her a rib,
That'll
right
get her
out, right
quiet.
in your crib. So we're mixing all this up. It's sort of heating through, and then I assume we're going to do the standard serve it on a bun.
That's what we're going to do.
And then at the restaurant at Mickey's, what would you serve on the side with this?
Well, we offer French fries with all our sandwiches. We don't do onion rings. We don't do any cheese sticks. We don't do any of that stuff.
That goes
But
back
we-
to your keep it simple.
We keep it simple, but our French fries people go crazy for. And we used to do fresh cut fries until we got to a point that we could not keep up. We were going through 4,100 pound bags a week. So that was 2 tons.
That's a lot of potatoes.
That's hard on the shoulders.
Yeah, it is. It's hard on the hands for cutting everything. So we've got about a minute here. Why don't we plate some of this up and get our judges some taste of this? Should we use our boats here?
Yep.
A boat, a bun, a sloppy Joe.
I have some. This is already warm because this needs to cook down
Needs
a
to
little
sort
bit.
of come together a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to give everybody a whole sloppy Joe. How do you like that?
That sounds fantastic.
Can't wait.
Dan, yeah, you got real excited when I said that, right? You want the whole one. No cut, no sharing.
Thank you.
All right, a second and a third.
Sir?
So usually, how long would you let this go if you were actually cooking this in the restaurant? How long would you let it come together?
Oh, this here?
Yeah.
Probably let it sit there for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
So, because since we
that'll
don't
be
have
ready.
that time, we're warming it up.
Yeah.
And basically, we're going to let our judges have a nice bite to eat. We're going to take a little break, and in just a little bit, you can dig it. Miss
Oh,
Johnson,
I
go
don't know
ahead.
if I should be in a sloppy Joe on camera.
You just, well, we'll keep it off camera for now. I'm Tom Dignan. I'm here with Mickey San Giacomo from Mickey's, and we're going to be back in a couple minutes with Cook This. Hello and welcome back to Cook This. I'm Tom Dignan, happily enjoying Sloppy Joes, in case you didn't notice. I'm here with Mickey San Giacomo from Mickey's in Bellwood, and our judges just got done having some. Mr. Bonarigo, it looks like you enjoyed yours as much as I did.
Yeah.
What do you think? How is it?
I'm learning.
Delicious.
Just good sloppy Joe. Nice and sloppy.
Mrs. Johnson,
What am I doing?
finger licking good.
Got it.
Miss Smetana.
Delicious. I love the sauce.
It is. It's really good. It's got that perfect balance, like the sweet, the savory. You can taste a little bit of
Smoky.
tomato in here. I'm going to at least attempt to get some of this off my face, even though I'm rather just eat it all. So, Mickey, what are we doing next here?
We're going to do our Italian meatball sandwich. And there's some uniqueness to it. It's my mother's recipe. She started the business back in 1959, and this being 2018, that puts us at 59 years.
59 years. At the same location and everything?
Same location. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Awesome.
Yeah. So this is her recipe. She's been gone 32 years, but I've continued it.
Kept it going.
We've kept it going as far as the recipe, and the whole family has pitched in throughout the years and kept it going. So primarily it's my brother and myself that operate the store now, and keeps us busy. It's
I could imagine.
7 days a week, 16 hours a day.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing you get along, right? Do you get along with your brother?
Well,
He's
we
here
we
for the
hardly
most
ever
part?
see each other because when he's working, I'm off, and when I'm working, he's off.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Separate but equal.
Exactly.
So what are we going to do with our meatballs here?
Well, we're going to start again with ground beef, and again we use an 80-20, and we're going to break it down here.
And again, so this is a family recipe that's sort of been passed down.
Right.
Let me get that for you. I can take that.
Thank you.
Did you add anything of your own that's a little tweak, or is this straight up Mom's recipe?
Mom's recipe, you know, again, philosophy of recipe. I probably changed a few things without knowing it, but nobody in the family makes meatballs. They all come to us to get them when they need them for the holidays or anything
way to
else.
do it.
So we're going to start with some breadcrumb.
Okay, why don't we put breadcrumb in meatballs?
Well, it's a binder. It holds it together, okay? And it helps to chew. And then we're going to add some grated Romano cheese, not Parmesan.
Not Parmesan, Romano.
Romano.
Delicious. It's
Okay.
good. It's got a good pungent nose to it.
And then we
It
use
smells good.
some dried parsley flakes.
Okay.
All right. And again, your staples, salt, pepper, and a granulated garlic. Okay. Now, with that, we throw in a couple of eggs, and basically we use an egg per pound.
Okay. And again, now why would you put eggs in meatballs?
It's a binder to
Good.
hold it together.
So you get a couple things to pull your meat together, so it's not just this crumbly falling apart. You get your
Correct.
breadcrumbs, you get your eggs in there, and you went with the whole egg, no yolks or anything like that. It's the whole egg in there. You got your cheese, you got your spices, a little bit of water.
A little bit of water.
Soften everything up, especially those breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Let's talk to our friends over here about meatballs. Homemade meatballs.
Come on now. Come
Mrs.
on
Johnson,
now.
do you do them?
No, sir.
You don't do homemade meatballs?
That is what my husband does.
He's got a meatball recipe. Is it pretty similar to this?
Yeah. He puts 2 different kinds of meat in it, though.
Ooh, is that a secret?
No, I think it's veal and beef.
Veal and beef,
Yeah.
delicious. Dan, how about you? Homemade meatballs?
I've participated in making them, but I couldn't tell you what was in it.
No idea. You know, meat and
Well,
things like
probably
that.
some meat.
Meat and flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Smetana, homemade meatballs?
Actually, I have.
You have?
Yes.
And how did they turn out?
Good. I like to use ground turkey,
Okay.
but other than that, pretty similar.
Awesome. Now,
Mess up meatballs.
it would be hard to. But it's a special thing also. Meatballs are, you know, if you can see here, Mickey's working this. It's one of those things, though, you don't want to do it too much because then you get sort of this push. It's this perfect balance of sort of bringing everything together, mixing those ingredients in. So when you finish getting this all together, how do you finish your meatballs? Do you bake them? Do you put them right in the sauce? What do we do with them?
There's the key. The secret in fast food and sandwich shops is everything tastes better deep fried.
Yep.
Oh,
I knew you were going to say
fried
that. I knew it.
meatballs?
Yes, that's the key.
Come on.
And what we're going to do is, the other thing we do is we make them oblong so they don't fall out of a sandwich.
Oh, look at that.
Okay?
Now, it doesn't look like a meatball, but that's going to taste like a meatball. Delicious. And so what kind of oil, is it same oil that you use for your fries and everything?
Our regular deep fryer, that's for cooking fries and
And do you
anything else
use
that goes in
peanut
there.
oil, canola oil? What do you have in your deep fryer?
That's a secret. It's a blend.
It's a blend. So we actually came across a secret. Mickey, you said there were no secrets. You have lied to me.
Well, it is a blend.
It's
So,
a blend.
A blend of commercial shortening you can buy.
It's a blend of secret oils.
It's not lard.
That will not leave this room,
Yeah.
people. So how many are you going to make here? How many, like if you said you had 2 pounds of meat, I think. So how many meatballs would we get out of 2 pounds of meat?
You'd get about 16.
About 16 meatballs.
Okay, and just to show you what they would wind up looking like, we're going to take them over here and we're going to put them in a deep fryer.
Oh, we got the deep fryer. We went off. Oh, there we go. We're slightly on camera. We got a deep fryer over there. And what's your temp on the deep fryer that you're working with?
350.
350. Okay, so no blanching or anything to start. We're going with the straight up.
Right.
350. Get it fried. And then how long are you going to cook these?
They're going to cook them, depending on that fryer, In a store commercial fryer, they're going to take about 8 minutes. So,
8 minutes.
Well,
So you actually reduce your cooking time a little bit too. If it might take a little bit longer if you were baking it or if you were putting it in your sauce.
a lot longer if you were baking, correct.
So these have already been deep fried, and they
Right.
are now sitting in what I assume is the homemade sauce.
You've got it.
The homemade sauce. So we've got our deep fried meatballs and homemade sauce. And how are we going to do this sandwich?
Well, we're going to put it on a piece of French bread. We're going to offer it with some peppers. For the taster judges, we're going to, if they like hot, we have some jardinere.
Oh, yeah.
I will not attempt to put that on for them. We'll let them deal with that.
And would that be the same at the restaurant too? So if the customer wants it?
No, in the
you can-
restaurant we handle it for the customers because things might tend to, they might overdo it and then we don't want to get in any trouble with, we put too much.
Now, I love jardinera. Miss Smetana, are you a jardinera person?
I am not.
No heat
Don't
at
think
all,
I've ever had it in my life.
I love it. Mrs. Johnson?
Out of
Yes, like just give me a spoon and some
Hello.
bread or something and
That's
let's just
right.
eat it. Now, do you like the hot or the mild?
yes.
Yes. Dan?
Hot as can be.
Yes,
We'll
I
just
would
take
agree.
this over here.
I want, like, I love the best part of the jardinera for me is all those vegetables that are in it. They get hot and spicy and pickled along with it. It's just such a great flavor. So you got some roasted green peppers.
Correct.
And I assume you roast those yourself.
That's correct.
They look seasoned, maybe a little oregano, parsley, something like that on there.
There's, again, garlic
Garlic, okay.
and pepper and oregano.
And oregano, perfect. All right, we're going to let our judges enjoy these amazing looking meatball sandwiches.
We all have one. I got it.
Everybody's got one. I'm Tom Dignan. This is Mickey from Mickey's in Bellwood, 59 years. And we'll be back in a little bit with Cook This. Hello and welcome back to Cook This. I'm Tom Dignan, and joining me again is Mickey from Mickey's.
How you doing,
59
Tom?
years. I'm doing great. I'm a happy guy because I'm eating this amazing meatball sandwich, as everybody else is also. If we could, right?
Right.
Mr. Bonarigo, you barely even saved a bite left. You went right after it.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's fantastic. The meatball is perfect. I love how it's cooked. And then the long meatball, so it doesn't fall out of the bun. Fantastic.
Ms. Johnson, you went back for more jardinera.
I did, sir. And I'm a picky judge of meatballs, and this guy, like it.
It's a good meatball. Ms. Smetana, would you agree?
I would agree. Deep frying makes all the difference, I think.
Yes.
Isn't it interesting? You could tell there's like just this little texture to it that's different.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get that meatball that it's either too hard or then you get one it's too soft and you cut it and sort of, this has that little chew to it. It's got that nice crispy edge to it from being fried. It's fantastic.
Tom, these are right out of the fryer. We
Right
just
out of
made
the
these
fryer.
that we mixed.
That's what we
And-
just saw before.
And every time I make a batch of meatballs, there's probably twice that amount disappears to my employees. Just eat it fresh like this.
Just right out of the fryer.
So if you're
into the
still
mouth.
hungry, help yourself.
So what are we doing next here, Mickey?
Next, we're going to do a Mike Ditka Polish sausage, which is it's made by Vienna. It was made for the Ditka stores, restaurants. He
Okay.
wanted something on the menu under $10. So he came up with it's a third of a pound of beef. It's got a little kick to it, like Mike Ditka would have.
I don't know if you can see this, but the third of these. This is not the small version of a Polish sausage, correct? This is like a full-on. Look at that. That's the knife. That is a big Polish sausage. Is that why it's Ditka style? Got to go big.
Got to go big.
So what are we going to do with our sausage here?
So the way to do this the right way is we're going to deep fry it, okay? And we're gonna dress it between Chicago and Maxwell style. So we're going to put some mustard, relish, pickles, tomatoes, sport peppers, and grilled onions on it.
Okay.
We put it on a steamed poppy seed bun, and it's a big sandwich, so our judges have been doing a pretty good job eating away. So I might cut one in thirds so they could sample.
Thank you.
But if they want a whole one, they're more than happy to have one.
I don't.
So.
Dan, do you think it's unfair that we're getting a third here? I think you and I could handle a full one, Mickey.
Okay.
I mean, right? Let's at least try. I mean,
That's
I will
on the
accept
lady
the
size.
challenge, baby.
Let me get these going here.
Yeah, so-
we just sear the ends. It kind of helps the cooking process and keep the Polish in a nice form.
Now, why do you like to deep fry it as opposed to grilling or roasting or something like that?
Well, here, I had a guy come in the store one time and say, "Where are your turkey items?" And I said, "We don't have anything here that is healthy, but it all tastes good." Here, again, deep frying makes everything better.
I would agree. Let's go to our judges. Have you ever deep fried at home? Because it's pretty bold to try deep frying. Dan, have you ever deep fried at home?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a deep fryer, but we've done stuff.
Pan fry?
Yeah, but not
Submerged
much.
in oil,
Yeah.
sure.
How about you, Mrs. Johnson?
Well, as a child, we deep fried nearly everything. Breakfast, you know, every meal.
And I like that you threw a little twang in there. As a child,
We deep fried everything we ate.
everything. Our eggs,
Even
our
milk.
bacon.
We deep fried milk.
Deep fried the milk. Deep fried your apple slices. Miss Smetana, have you ever deep fried?
Not at home, but when I worked at a restaurant in college, we experimented and deep fried everything we could get our hands on. So,
What was the most interesting thing you deep fried?
I wouldn't say the most interesting, but the best was probably pickle.
Deep fried, yeah. Pickles are good. Fried pickles. I mean, and Mickey, you're right. Deep frying makes pretty much anything better. And when you're using good sausage like this, and you're using good fresh ingredients, and then you add the fact that it's being deep fried and it's 59 years of tradition, you can't really go wrong.
You're exactly right, Tom. I mean, I think that, again, what we've done, we've stayed away from adding things to the menu that you can get everywhere else, like burgers. We don't do burgers in the store. We stay away. We don't do chicken sandwiches. Again, we're not really about health.
We are not giving you anything that's healthy.
No, but if you want a place when you're on a diet or a real healthy diet to come and cheat, we're the spot.
I think that is the spot, right? And what a good philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
All right.
no holds barred. Here's what we
Right.
do. We cook good food. We cook it the way it's supposed to taste, and that's probably why you've been in business for 59 years.
Yeah. Well, that and the fact that I'll tell you a little secret. I was a vegetarian for about 10 years. I didn't eat a hot dog or a piece of beef or meat for 10 years.
And what made you come to your senses?
My doctor, he said, put a little meat in your diet. It won't kill you.
I would like the name of that doctor who said put a little meat back into your diet, because I've never had a doctor say that to me. Usually it's the opposite. So how long are you going with these holy cow impressive
hello.
sausages?
Well, they're ready.
Yeah.
So that was what, maybe about 2-3 minutes?
Yeah, maybe. I would
and-
say 3 to 4, probably.
And as you can see, when you cut those little edges there, you increase that surface area. So you get extra little bits of crunchy right around the edge there. That's the gold bite right there, is that those little crispy parts right there.
Yep.
So you got your toasted poppy seed bun. Look at the size of that guy.
Okay. That's a standard bun. Actually, it's a jumbo bun.
Not big enough, huh?
And it's still not big enough. So we're going to put a little mustard,
A little mustard, which I love.
a little relish.
A little green relish. Neon green, Chicago style.
Okay. A little couple slices of tomato, fresh cut. Nice slice of pickle. A little sport.
Some of those grilled onions.
A few grilled onions. Oop.
We lost a sport pepper. We
Yeah,
have a
we'll
sport
get it.
pepper down.
Well, didn't bring all my tools with me, so that's what happens sometimes.
Well, while we're serving these up, I would just like to thank you very much for coming in here and cooking for us today, because this was really, really a fun experience working with you, Mickey.
There you are.
Overall, I mean, what do we think? Is it you got to get to Mickey's as soon as
Yes.
possible, Miss Smetana?
Going
Without a doubt, 2 thumbs up.
And Miss Johnson?
Going to Mickey's. It's
Go to
happening.
Mickey's.
It's happening.
Mr. Bonarigo?
Absolutely.
And what was your favorite out of the 3? If you're going to order and you had one of these 3, where are you going?
Well,
If
we
I
don't
could
know
get
yet.
all 3, together, that would be.
Right,
Combo meal.
Yeah.
right. Mrs. Johnson, what's your order?
Well, I don't know yet, but
still gotta eat your-
so far I would put the meatball in a lead position.
Gotcha. Miss Smetana, you?
I'd have to go with the Sloppy Joes.
Interesting. So we've got a nice little combo here. So again, I'm here with Mickey San Giacomo from Mickey's in Bellwood. They've been there for 59 years. They've been doing things right, exactly like you see here. Cooking good food the way it should taste, with fresh stuff, best ingredients, and that's the way to go. So for Mickey from Mickey's and for Miss Smetana, this is Johnson, Mr. Bonarigo. I'm Tom Dignan, and this has been Cook This. Thank you.